life is over with the cult, and I am done with it. I'm merely making this presentation with Mark Passio tonight to open the eyes of people so that they understand that horrific, systematic, occult abuse is going on nationwide in America and throughout the world. 10% of the U.S. population is engaged in the old religion. Now, how many of the old religion are Illuminati? I do not know. But according to my Amalekite mother, she claimed to me when I was in the training of the true history that actually over 10% of America, more like 12%, was involved in the Illuminati Freemasonic conspiracy to take over the world, which is known today as the New World Order. I'm not sure if it's as much as my mother said, at 12%, but from my studies, I would say 10% would be acceptable, 9% would be acceptable. So, of the old religion of Molech and the other human sacrificers of the Canaanite Phoenician ilk, basically you can say in America there are roughly 30 million adherents to the old religion. They form, for the most part, the rank and file of the satanic machinery that runs the world. They are the police officers. They are the teachers. They are the engineers. They are the professors. They are the doctors. They are the nurses. To control a society, you don't need to have everyone in a position of power. You just need key levers of power under constant control. Now, how the human race is going to break this control, I do not know, other than becoming aware. That's the first step. One of the magical things that the Illuminati mind controllers can do is they can convince you of things in a spiritual dimension. For instance, I mentioned the heart of stone ritual where your heart is taken out and placed in the temple of Moloch. Now, there's another thing that they do, and that is when the Illuminati have someone in cult that is shown to have a consciousness that will never cooperate, they're given a special level of programming. This programming is known as spider web programming. This programming is a programming of ultimate mental chaos. One of the things that the high priestess witch did to me in the spider web programming when it was realized by the cult that I had a consciousness that would never go cult was they drugged me and made me to believe that I was inside of a giant blown glass object. I would say the size of a 20 by 20 room, maybe even larger, but it was amber colored and somewhat round in shape. In this glass chamber was myself and also 3 giant spiders. Now, of course, what they had told me was that I was, and you have to understand, I'm hypnotized, I'm drugged, I'm under 1,000-year-old satanic mind control suggestion. They have rituals and spell casting, and they know things about the human mind that I can't even describe. But essentially, they convinced me, and I saw it in my mind's eye, myself in this glass chamber with 3 giant spiders, and I ran from those spiders for 40 years. Part of my consciousness was in that chamber running from those giant spiders. Just a little boy. Which, subconsciously, what that ritual does is it puts you subconsciously always in a state of panic, which is very good for someone having a negative mindset. One of the things I'm going to talk about is, as I rebelled, a certain friend of mine, a young boy, who was in the cult, and a friend of mine, was going through the usual Illuminati raping one Friday night. And his colon was torn by being raped so viciously. And he developed a bacterial infection. In his infection, it spread throughout his body. He went septic. And in the space of a couple of days, died. When he died, I tried to go to the police and get help and tell them of the murder. Now, I did this through a third party. Unfortunately, when the third party went to the police to tell them of the child's raping and death by sepsis, the police looked at the man and said, "Oh, we know what's going on there, but we can do nothing about it." And that was the end of that. The man whom I approached to help in the murder of my friend was a Christian. He did everything he could in his power to get justice for my friend and for myself at that time when I was 6 years old. But he could not tell the police to do something they refused to do. There was a time that the police fought with the cult my father was in this one particular tri-state area community. 3 policemen were quickly dispatched by Illuminati assassins. From that day forward, the police stayed away from the cult. That is why when the Christian man I asked to help me went to the police said, "We'd like to help, but we can't do anything about it." The Illuminati elite have armies of private mercenaries at their disposal and have no problem killing people who get in their way, including police. When John F. Kennedy was murdered in Dallas, we watched as a family the funeral. My father said to my mother, "We did this." It's called the death of a king ritual. This is to traumatize the nation. My father also mentioned that day that the driver of Kennedy's limousine was the Illuminati's man. When the leader of the cult in the cult community that I was in died of a heart attack, my mother cried for 3 days straight. It's interesting to note that my mother cried for 3 days straight, wailing the death of a mass murderer, pedophile, child torturer. With trauma-based mind control, people's spirituality, mentality is turned 180 degrees opposite of what is natural for a human being. Evil is good, good is evil. I have many personal tales to tell. They're all quite despicable. But these people, through hypnotism and drugging, can convince you emotionally and spiritually. They can put you just about in any place they want to. And, of course, having a handy car battery around, that's always helpful, too.
Neil, I'm just going to jump in for one moment here, and I want to thank you again for being here. Incredible information, extremely disturbing yet enlightening simultaneously. I just want to remind the listening audience out there that if you do want to call in and have any questions for Neil about trauma-based mind control, the call-in number is 724-444-7444. Once again, the call-in number, 724-444-7444. The call ID number for this show, 83515. When you call in, punch in the call ID number for what on earth is happening. The call ID number is 83515. It's a little past the we're almost at the 20-minute mark after the second hour, so we have about 40 minutes left in the show tonight. That's plenty of time to take some calls. We don't have any callers on the line as yet because I'm sure people are very interested in hearing this story. But if anybody wants to call in, just give us a call and hold on the air, and we'll get to your calls momentarily. Neo, the floor is yours again.
Well, I think we should take some calls and talk to some people about what's going on in this world. And it's going to, this is the first time I've ever spoken out about this, Mark. I'm not that literate a speaker to talk about this subject. I recommend 2 books for people that want to know about this